Welcome back to Broken and Smoking. I'm Tyson, and I've had a long, hard day. Well, I've got more parts for the crew cab build. Parts as in, stay tuned. So I picked up a frame. It's off of a 2011 2500. It's a crew cab long wheelbase. Should be a pretty close wheelbase for what I'm needing. But the issue is I'm trying to get it in the shop. Done blew a hydraulic line on the tractor. This thing is heavy now. And I guess I'm going to have to rob Peter to pay Paul, steal the wheels off the work truck, put on this one to get it rolled up in here now. And the rear end's out of it. But it came with it, so I got to put it back up under it, do it the old-fashioned way. I get to crawl around on the cold, wet ground. And I reckon I was going to bring y'all along, do this the old-fashioned way. Since my Mahinger tool's down, done ran over the country trying to find parts for it. No, same way as a parts store. I swear, every time I go in one of them places, I think this is a great town to put a parts store in. Never got anything you need. Well, I guess I need to quit yapping and start gathering up tools. Got the work truck in here, scrap hauler. Let's get this jerked off. Real quick, like, hopefully. No, there's one. Think I need some brakes. Uh-oh. You went down on me. Yeah, scrap hauler needs some brakes. Just so happens I got a 2011 out there that I think it's got good brake pads on it. Well, this is what I'm dealing with. I got this thing here, it's a mile long. No rollers, no axle on the back. It's a 4-wheel drive frame. Suspension and stuff still on it. Of course, we got a fresh coat of oil to preserve everything thanks to the Mahinger tool. Oh, we got it in the way because, you know, the hose that blew is the one that raises the forks. Crap, my mind went blank. It raises the, you know what I'm talking about. So it's stuck there until I can find parts for it. And I got to get this axle right here back up under it. And what he told me is a guy was going to buy that, but decided to back out or something. So he sold it all as one package. And I'm good with it because we're building a crew cab. We're going to make a hybrid of you ain't gonna believe. Now I forgot to mention that come on, we're actually testing out the strength and durability of the Harbor Freight's 1.5 ton aluminum jack. This stuff ain't light, and I'll probably drop it half a dozen times. Somebody got them on. Yeah. And there's only, I don't know, how many is it? Half a dozen bolt patterns of this now? I'll be dog, we went too high. When did they change years on these bolt patterns? I thought it was in 2011. Truck might not be a 2011. I don't know, but if this is a 8 on 6.5, I've got some of them junkers laying around somewhere. So maybe I won't have to rob Peter to pay Paul here. Well, I went and dug these out of the parts garage shop building. These came off of a 70-something model. What are you doing, Chevy? And if they fit, I got some more research to do, because I thought GM changed the years to some of them funky metric patterns in like 2010, 2011, something in there. And that is it. Which I'm happy about, because I can find wheels cheaper this way. But what year is that now? Is it really a 2011? Or is my math or info wrong? I definitely need to go double check on that one. And I've only got 3 of these, so I might have to go to a Fentro and get one off of another truck. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Good thing about it, it's got them old farm tires that they can be out of air and still hold up. Well, I had to go get the big boy. See Daisy. Long ways to go. Well, y'all seen me working my tail off, crawling around on the ground, kicking and screaming, and I got nowhere. I finally gave up, called it quits for the night. That's the next day. But I'm still needing some lug nuts and parts and stuff, so we're about to go down here and see if we can't get this red truck that's been sitting on this fence row for, I don't know, a few months. I drove it here. It was barely driving, but you know how they get. Maybe the fuel pump ain't been locked up. Because I need to rob 2 bolts off of the U-bolts and at least a wheel. Let's see what we got to work with. See how many wasps. Shouldn't have too much to worry about with wasps right now. Yeah, I don't see nothing. I got a good battery, so I'm fixing to put it on right quick. What we got? 9/16. And I did say 9/16 because it's got carriage bolts with nuts on them. I do this a lot myself. You know, I usually use regular bolts, but hey, whatever works. So I guess you could call this a will it run in this episode too, because we're literally going to see if it'll run. Which one is that? I think that's my ground. This is my hot. Make sure. Yep. If my shirt keeps tagging on that darn fender, I ain't gonna have one left. Let's see if she'll start. What did I do with the key? I think I left it in here. Well, that's not good. Handle broke. Huh. A good thing we got this removable mirror here. There we go. Throw that in the back. Any creepy crawlers jumping out, y'all jump now. Forever hold your peace. Now the one thing I do remember, heard that plastic bag on the back window. I thought, never know when a coon might come out. What I was saying, what I remember, this thing took forever to build oil pressure. So it never knocked, it just took forever to build oil pressure. And it is a 6-liter. We'll go ahead and cycle the fuel pump a few times. One more time. Alright, ready? Come on. I know you want to. Am I even hearing the fuel pump? I'll spit it out in a minute. Can't say that I do. Well, let's see if we got any pressure on the rail. There it is. It's hiding. No pressure. There's no fuel coming out. So are we out of fuel, or is the fuel pump even working? You know, I did pull a plug or two, or a fuse or two out. Let's make sure that ain't the case. Where did I pull it from? Was it here, or was it in the cab? Let me troubleshoot this a minute, because it's been a while. I did rob a fuse or two off of this, because you remember this is a truck I pulled that 2-amp fuse on when I fixed the scrap poler that we've been driving. I gotta find it. Got something in my... That little fuse didn't match nothing. It said mirrors and power locks or something. So I had a little bit of fuel, as in a little bit. I mean, half a gallon was in that. We'll see what it does now. There's some money down there. Let's see. Cycle it a few more times. How many miles was on this? 300 and something. 310. Oh, 6-liter, had a hard life, I'm not sure. Just by looking at it. Oh, here we go. Oh, stay running. Watch that oil pressure gauge. There we go. We got it now. Look at the idle. Shoot. I mean, like peanut butter. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. No brakes. What happened? We don't need brakes. Let's see. Come on. Oh yeah, we moving. Let's get it up here, put it in the way of everything else. Probably should have drop the hood, you know, 'cause I can't see nothing. We'll just clear the limbs. Here we go. GM products, son. Oh, no brakes. Listen to that baby purr. Don't hear no knocking, do you? No smoking. Excuse me. I guess that means I need to shut it off now because there ain't much gas in it. And I gotta take. So, I was gonna say I need to take one of these wheels off. You know what I was saying? I'm pretty positive 2011's a year they changed the wheel bolt patterns on 8 lugs on GM. Well, I've been trying to find the VIN number on the frame. Can't find it. I was looking in the bed for, you know, said 2 bolts, and I found, where'd it go? This. Owner's manual, 2011. So, I'm pretty sure this is, no, plus the previous owner said this was a 2011. So, that tells me that it's more than likely a 2011. So, did the GM mismatch parts that they had left over, you know, for that type of stuff? Or surely the back ain't different from the front, which meaning somebody put a different rear end in it. I don't know. That's the reason I'm hoping these wheels will fit on this, so I can at least roll it and get it in the shop. Plus I need them 2 U-bolts on this axle. So I'll probably need to park it somewhere else, probably on the other side, because it might be more in a temporarily, permanently spot. Ex-wife might not like it, but you know, she'll get over it. Right? She just shot me a bird. So that's where, I guess I'm gonna move the truck back over there if I don't run out of gas. Yep, I threw in the towel. Got all my tools back in the shop. Really got to thinking. And the reason I threw in my towel is because I really need that tractor running. I'm tired of fooling with these jacks. Do this, do that. This don't work. For one, the nuts, the different size from the red truck, won't fit the other truck. And I think I figured out why the rear end is an 8 on 6.5, and the front half is, you know, the metric style. So apparently 2011 was the year that they changed bolt patterns on that. Why does it have mismatched parts? I don't know. Like I said, I got this stuff. Rear end was removed from the frame, and he stated that guy wanted it, but something about a non-ABS, and he didn't take it. I don't know. I ain't accusing anything or anybody. This is what happens when you buy used parts that you don't know nothing about. It could have been that way for who knows how long. The rear end might have went out in the truck, then they picked something up, and I don't know what kind of wheels it had on it. You know, I know none of the past on it. But I want it to have the 8 by 6.5 because you got more wheel choices to choose from. So in the future, does that mean can I swap parts off the red truck and make them fit the frame so that it's all 8 on 6.5, I don't know. It's something I might look into. If I could come across a straight front axle, which technically I'd rather have, but parts are getting hard to find for them, and I'd rather have something with independent front end because it rides better, and all that good stuff. So, I mean, we're still up in the air. We still got options. We still got choices. It's just which way do I want to go? Look around. I got crap broke. Engine still apart in the 68. Frames out there. What else was I waiting? I got to get parts for the Mahindra. I don't know. I'm just waiting in the whirlwind, I guess. Ain't nothing wrong with waiting and taking a chill pill. I need a chill pill. I did find a baby croc, seeing how Chevy too likes to chew on all our crocs. I'm going to give her this one. Found it in the bed of that truck. So she'll enjoy that. It's been a few days. Got the Mahindra tool fixed up. And we're going to go see if we can't get that cotton picking frame right here in this spot. I'm tired of dealing with it. My back hurts, my head hurts, I'm hungry. I'm getting a little anxious, I got my hydraulic jack, right there. And I'm trying to get that pin lined up. So close, but yet so far away. Same way with this side. I gotta figure something out. Them ain't tight. But I did pick up some nuts without the squished on the end, the lock nuts features. So that's good. Now I'm going to lay on this wet ground, get a crick in my neck. So I got that back end somewhat attached. It probably ain't going to stay on there because to me, I think there was some shady stuff going on when I got this. I'll go into details in depth with that if we ever get in a shop. But the pins ain't wanting to go in the holes, and you know what that means. I think the pins are bigger than the holes in the frame. And that goes along with different bolt patterns on, something. Anyways, I'm pretty positive that rear axle didn't come out from under this truck. So I got this all attached, rigged, and I guess we're going to see if we can't get it to move or do something. Good night. My ex-wife ain't this stubborn. It's in here. But again, I really want to know what's going on with this rear end. Done busted my concrete. It's the reason why I can't have epoxy floors. I know it was catching on the back of this, but that shouldn't be. Well, I guess it could be. I still want to get it up. and actually spin the pinion and see what happens. Maybe that's all it was, but I still need to measure them pins also. So let me get jack stands up under it. So it's the next day. Go figure. It's the way it works with me around here. And it's been a great day by far. Already because I done dumped all those tools on the floor, had to pick them up. I don't know how I done it, but it done it. So I've got the frame up on jack stands, went ahead and done removed the bed. And this is the reason why I wanted to go with a later model frame, is because one, the brake lines and stuff on it, they're still good. Shouldn't have to replace none of them other than, deleting on this ABS module box stuff and whatnot, because we don't need that no more. Two, the frame is boxed. See how the frame is totally boxed all the way toward the end, both sides. Yeah, I know it's a mile long. It's more strength. Yeah, it's a lot more weight too. Believe me, my Hinger tool knows all about it. And the third reason why I wanted a late model frame is because we can add our collection to all these metric boats that I got randomly laying around. There's a pile. There's a pile. There's one up yonder. I mean, we're going to have a box full of metric boats now to do stuff with. But what I was out here doing was I was trying to find the VIN number on this frame. I've looked and looked and looked. I finally found it. So a lot of times it'll be somewhere in here from what research I've done. But I found it underneath this frame rail. I got it all wrote down. We'll go over that in a second. And I'm eventually going to drop this rear end again because I want to know what's going on with this thing. This right here is locked up. Will not turn now. I don't know what happened. Parking brake could be on. I could spin the yoke and only one tire will turn. Well, originally both of them would. See, I got that further side over there turning. This one ain't doing squat. And that's because it's locked up tight. I'm going to look into that. But my main thing is I want to measure this pin on this leaf pack and measure the hole in this axle. And I want to see if they're actually the same diameter or same size. Because something ain't jihon, something ain't making sense. Why this one has got the old school 8 on 6.5, and the front's got the 8 on, what is GM, 170 millimeter, whatever that is. I don't know. I don't get it. That's what happens sometimes when you buy used parts. I'm not accusing nobody, because this happens when you buy used parts. I'm in it for a good, reasonable price, I feel like. I gave $600 for this whole complete what you see with the bed on it. I've seen these anywhere from, say, $500 on up to $1,500. Of course, the $500 is completely stripped. I mean, nothing left on it. And I'm still in debate if I'm going to, again, use this front end. I'd like to because it's all there. I doubt it's wore out. And it's independent. I mean, we'll have the ride. And the leaf spring front axles, or what, I say leaf spring, but I mean the straight front axle, parts are getting harder and harder to find for those. This here is the new generation of stuff. But I got to figure out what's going on with this rear end we got back here. Another thing I noticed, this thing ran off CNG. What's CNG? Compressed natural gas. The guy told me that the engine that was in it had 2 sets of injectors. He's never seen anything like it. I've never seen any or heard of anything like it. And sure enough, there's telltale signs of another fuel line running up. And there's some kind of mechanism hanging. See if I can point in the right direction. We'll just go up here to it. This was part of the fuel, excuse me. And it's got some kind of valve, stainless. I'm assuming that's where some gas goes to. Maybe that's where they filled it up at. I don't know. What? Looks like we'll have to straighten that out because I must have bent it when I was taking the bed off. There we go. Yeah, it's got a quick disconnect there. So I guess that's where they filled up at. And of course, whatever ran into the bed. But we got all this hanging here. This is part of the line that went into, where did I see that? I think it went to the other side, yeah, because I took off this little Dumaflachi. That's some sort of special, it looks like a hydraulic line, but I guess it's where the gas goes into this here shutoff valve, it looks like, some sort of filter. And it goes up to another line that ran up to, I assume, the engine somewhere. So, I mean, that was pretty neat to figure out. Something different. And there's all this wiring that was extra. I don't know. We'll go through that later. And we'll try to reuse, the majority of the wiring and stuff too. For the most part, what we can. So let's go over here. And I got the VIN number wrote on the board. So this is the VIN number I found, minus the sequence number. The first number is like if it's made in United States or Mexico. This is General Motors. The third one's going to be like if it's a truck, SUV, that sort of thing, if I ain't mistaken. The one is like the weight, what they call it, the GVWR. And one in our case, 9,001 to 10,000 pound rating. This will tell you if it's a 4-wheel drive or whatnot. This, I think, is the trim or series. Of course, I think it's 2500 work truck because, the scrap hauler has got the V in it too, if I ain't mistaken. C, restraint code. This tells you the engine. Of course, this had the 6-liter in it. The 5 is just some random digit they put in there. And of course, here is your year model. It should be the 10th digit. 10th digit is B. And I think in 2010, they started with A. And in 2011, would be B. There's certain years that, like 2001 would be 1. They jumped. Then I can't remember it all the time. But this one here, from what I researched a while ago, in 2010, it started back to letters, or it went to letters, whatever. And so this, in fact, is a 2011 model chassis, which everything's lining up, from the front end wise, but we got to figure out why that rear end is what it is. And I'm just going with it. I'm sure it's been swapped at some point in its life, if them pins are the same diameter. So that's what I'm getting ready to do now. We got it all dropped. Get ready to measure this. So this pin right here, go ahead and throw the caliper on it. We got 700. Go on this pad. Right at the very end, we get 700. But the further we get back in there, it's 600. Which ain't gonna work because it's got a fully seat. So there's no doubt in my mind that this axle did not come on this truck. How it got in, I don't know. And I ain't too worried about it. Because I'd rather have the old style pattern as long as the other side is good, but I still don't know what I'm going to do about the front. We'll figure it out when we cross that bridge. I am going to go check the other side just to verify. Because what if there's some chance I got that sucker in there backwards or something? I don't know how it's possible, but I guess I could. Clean up all the dirt. $700. Looks like about 6 something. So yeah, something ain't Jihan. I still ain't accusing nobody, but honesty does go a long way. Let me take this wheel off right quick and see what's going on with that. I got lucky for once. I took the wheel off and we got turnage. So looked at the wheel and apparently there's a little rubbing issue going on. Probably right there, if I was guessing, the way it's shiny. And I got it jacked up enough, but I think it's an open diff. There's no tag on it. Sometimes it feels like it wants to turn both, sometimes it don't. But we got something to work with. That's the main thing. I guess that's going to finish this one because I'm really fixing to have to clean up and see which route I'm going to go. Appreciate y'all watching. If you ain't already, like, subscribe. Tell your buddies. This idiot's about to do a crew cab that's going to reach a mile long. And in all honesty, let's see. This shop is 60 foot long. The center of it's right there at 30, where that seam is, to right there. So what's this, 5 foot here to the front and maybe 4 foot from there. So I'm going to guess it's every bit of 20 foot long. Just judging, So it's going to be a monster. Maybe we need to add rear steer or something. Might be an idea. No, it's too expensive. But yeah, stay tuned. Be sure and hit the subscribe button and get your notifications and all that. Because this is in the works. I appreciate y'all.